Hey, I just had a really interesting thought and I want to share it with you. So, in the previous video, I don't know if it's uploaded yet or not, but I was talking about the collective trauma. Like, this is some past experience that we're experiencing through a regression type of thing, right? Well, I was thinking about this last night too, and if you play out everything that's happening, but with the eyes of a newborn child, okay? Think about it for a minute. Like, really clear your mind, take a deep breath, and think about what I'm about to tell you. We're told we're in the womb of the universe, the Great Mother. We're told that the universe that we see is our body, the elements, the etc., etc. It's all us, reflected outward. We're told that there is a crown, a type of corona something, right? The crown, the halo, the crowning during child labor. We're told about the vaccines and chips and all sorts of things that go into the body after the crowning. We're told about how people, do terrible things to children and their body parts when they're born, like from taking blood from them to the umbilical cord and all that stuff that must seem absolutely horrifying to a child. Then we're told that the stars that we look at are also reminiscent of blood flowing through the blood vessels. If you look at the camera, like with a film of blood going through blood vessels, it looks like stars moving through empty space. We're kind of told that, dark matter and the emptiness of space is actually the blood vessels of God. And that there's some one-eyed dragon, that's constantly peeking in and looking in. Cover the children's ears. Now, if you're inside of a womb and you're a child, and what you see ahead of you is what you see above you, the umbilical cord from your point of view, connecting from you to the area above you, must seem like a giant dark sun staring at you with light coming through it. Think about it. You're in this emptiness, but there's this part above you that keeps opening up and giving you light and food and nutrients, the pleroma. Then below you, there is this like weird triangle, slit thing that's there. It's like a triangle with an eye on top of it or something. And then once in a while, this like serpent dragon thing comes to visit, almost like a penis going through a vaginal cavity, and the child can see it while it's in the womb. I know this sounds absurd, but think about it. Those of you who have carried a child will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's almost as if the child within the great universe is aware that it's within the womb of a living being, which is the mother, right, that the child is inhabiting. And that this stuff with the crowning and the vaccines and all of this stuff is actually the child becoming aware that it's about to be born, and that it's going to go through these vaccinations and these, procedures, and then it's going to be documented, and the names are going to be given, and that it's going to have its control a little bit removed because it's going to be under the obedience of a parent. You see this, right? I really think we're inside of a literal womb, and I really think we're dreaming all of this reality, and that we're about to be born into some real reality. And this place has just been a place where, like the womb, the underworld, the emptying of the void, and we're in there, and we've been created. We came from the light, and we're here in this womb, universal womb and we're about to be born. But to the child inside the womb, birth seems like the end. It seems like destruction. It seems like, falling through emptiness and the boundaries of the universe. So it comes up with all these scenarios and all these possibilities of things that it's seeing and imagining within the womb. And I mean, who knows what's happening outside of the womb? For all we know, it's like utopia. And then the water is breaking. Like when a mother's water breaks, it's almost like the Great Flood, isn't it? Like the pleroma breaking and the heavens opening and the firmament, collapsing and the waters coming in. It's like the placenta, the womb. The water breaking and the woman giving birth. Are you with me on this? Like, do you comprehend what? Like, can you correlate this to your perception of reality and what you perceive your reality to be? Last night, when I was laying in bed and I could see all of this, the weird blobs of light I see when I close my eyes, and I'm like looking with my third eye and I'm trying to see with all three eyes at once. It's like I can see the universe, but from behind a filter, like behind a screen. And this pulsing thing that I see in front of me, it's like almost a butterfly on my forehead that keeps flapping its wings in a pulsating manner, like a rhythmic dance. And through that dance of this butterfly on my forehead, I can see the structure of all of it. It's like layer upon layer upon layer of this reality. And the only thing I can describe it as is being inside of the womb and seeing through like the sonar kind of sense what's going on all around it. It's very strange. It's very strange. And if this is not something that other people are able to see, then I might have some strange gift, but I'm fairly certain, like, we all know this. And if we don't, this video might seem really weird to you. But think about it. Like, let your imagination run wild. Really think about all of the possibilities of this. Don't just look at what's presented in front of you. I mean, even in those videos where they do the, what's it called? Where they show you what are artificial intelligence dreams like. There's actual videos of this where they show you what the dreams of an artificial intelligence machine looks like. And it's a fractal pattern that keeps expanding and going in and out, and it's like this infinite canvas of what could be. And none of it's real. It's just images superimposed on each other infinitely. And then the whole concept of superposition or super juxtaposition or whatever it's called, where, the light doesn't pay attention to what's happening and only realize, like, accepts what's happening when it's the solution that wins the race for life. And if you remember as far back as you can, or the most imaginative thing that you can about when you first came to this earth, it almost looks like you were a beam of light flying towards the earth, and the earth was zooming in and in and in. And then you were on top, like you could see like Google Maps, and then you're like zooming into this area, and then boom, you're in a hospital bed being born. Do you remember that as a soul? Does that thought seem familiar to you in any way? It's almost like the light that you were and that you are was a sperm fertilizing an egg, and the egg is the earth. And the moon could have been the twin you were going to be born with. But something happened in the womb, and that twin was destroyed, and all the other eggs and stuff that were going on, like there was an issue, and then there was a false labor and a miscarriage, and some part of you remembers all of that as a child within a womb. I don't know what it is that I'm remembering, or if it's just me or not. But something tells me it's not just me. Like, I've really been thinking about the collective consciousness a lot lately. And it really seems like I've tapped into a part of it that we've all collectively blocked out. And I'm asking you to unblock that passageway. Let yourself remember what it is you're afraid to remember. Let yourself ease into it. Just sit and breathe and ask yourself, what are you running from? What are you avoiding? What is it that you refuse to feel? Feel it before the world makes you feel it. I don't know if I should share this or not, but about 4 days ago, or whenever the 11th was, I was sitting down in meditation, and I was focusing on my third eye, the pineal gland in the back of the mind, in the back of the head. And I had my eyes blindfolded, and I was really focusing on the pineal gland. And when my eyes are, like with my eyes blindfolded, I try to open my eyes, but keep my eyelids closed. So I was attempting to be aware of all three of them, the receptors that have the ability to perceive, with a optical sense. There's also one in the heart that does this. You can literally see through your heart. So altogether, it's roughly 4 eyes that you have. Your 2 physical ones that you see the third density with, that are used to perceive depth and distance, or whatever it's called. Your eyes that see time-space, or space-time, whatever. And then there's your pineal gland, which allows you to see the other wavelengths of light. And then there's the heart's eye that allows you to see everything and to feel it, so that you can translate what you're translating, the vibrations that you're translating, into a more coherent image. So when they say, have a single eye, they don't just mean your third eye. It also means your heart. When I was doing this, the 2 eyes, the left and the right, the one above them, the pineal, and then the one in the chest. Look at the pattern it makes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then if you go to the back of the heart, where the energy comes out, 1, 2, 3, 4. It makes an 8-pointed star. When I saw this in my mind, with all of my eyes, I saw this pillar of rainbow. With my eyes closed, it was like an X symbol or a plus symbol that was going from the top of me to the floor and from the left to the right. And the more I focused on this to maintain that image and to not control it, but to just perceive it, the more vivid it got. And at one point it got so vivid, it looked like there was a woman on this plus sign that was shifting between male and female and all these different faces. And then it was pregnant. And the bigger its belly got, the whiter and brighter this this form of this woman got. And this woman started like exploding or sending these pulses out of her that covered the entire thing that I could see in this like ring of light that kept going like pulsing out from her, like the stomach area, just kept going like this. And the more that happened, the more the darkness that I was regularly seeing with my eyes closed kept going away. And I could see like brief, like a sonar radar that kept pulsing through, and I could see the other side of what was there. There's no way I can describe it for you. There's no way, because what I saw on that other side was not utilizing the physics or any of the stuff we know here. It was like everything we're translating here that we think is light is actually darkness. And the real light is on the other side of where we are. And we're training here to be able to perceive that light. And if we can't get these sensory organs that we have to work together, we're not going to see that light properly. Instead, it's going to look like chaos, like not even ordered chaos or, order out of none of that, but like pure infinite potential. All of it happening at once, none of it making any sense. It's like somebody that's, been born blind and they suddenly start seeing. It's going to take a while unless your third eye and your heart are connected so that you can make sense of what you're seeing with your two eyes. It was intense. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about this. And either I've been tuning in, like, there's so many possibilities of what this could be. So many. And I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm kind of sharing this with you. What I saw wasn't just about me. Like, it wasn't a thing where it's like some being or some consciousness or my own subconscious or my own repressed memories were like, oh, this is what's happening with you. No, this was like like someone opened a window and let me see outside of the house. If I was a baby in a womb, it was almost like somebody was doing a sonogram or an ultrasound or whatever it's called, and they were scanning the womb, and I could see the thing scanning the womb, and I could follow that with the energy or the light that was emitting back to where it was emitting it from and see it from there. And I saw a woman in labor. And the doctors and the people there didn't look human. They looked almost snake-like. They looked magical. They looked like they were on fire, that they were glowing and burning and exploding at the same time. It was so much stuff. It was like living stars. It was intense and so beautiful. I don't know. I'm gonna go. I hope that this helps you somehow be in a state without fear, even remotely. Because there's something going on that none of us seem to comprehend. And the worst thing we can do is respond in fear to it. For all we know, it's truly the best possible outcome playing out. I'm gonna go. Take care of yourself and those around you, including the wildlife.